Learn English through stories. Intermediate English. Black Beauty. Born free in a green meadow, Black Beauty's world changes when he discovers that not all humans are kind. Through moments of peace, pain, and redemption, this timeless story reveals the power of compassion, respect, and true kindness. Listen, learn, and feel the journey of Black Beauty. Let it strengthen both your English and your empathy. Don't just study English, live it through stories. A happy foal. My first home was a beautiful meadow with a pond of clear water. I lived with my mother, Duchess, and other horses. As a young colt, I knew nothing of the world. My mother taught me to be gentle and good. Always do your best, she would say. Never bite or kick. Learning lessons. I grew into a strong, handsome black horse. My coat was fine and soft, and I had one black foot and a white star on my forehead. I learned to wear a saddle and pull a carriage. My master, Farmer Grey, was kind and taught me well. He said I had a good spirit. Birtwick Park. When I was 4, I was sold to Squire Gordon. My new home was Birtwick Park. The squire and his wife were kind and gentle. John Manley, the coachman, cared for me with great skill and love. He spoke to me as if I were a friend. I was very happy there. New friends. In the stables, I met 2 other horses. One was a small grey pony named Merrylegs, who loved to play. The other was a tall chestnut mare named Ginger. She had a difficult past and was often nervous and quick to anger. We soon became good friends. Ginger's story. One day, Ginger told me her story. Her previous owners were cruel. They used a painful rein to force her head up high. "It is a terrible thing," she said. "It makes a horse's life a misery." I felt very sorry for her and understood her anger. A kind master. Squire Gordon never used those painful reins on us. He believed that a horse should be comfortable and happy. If we are kind to animals, they will be kind to us, he often said. He treated us with respect, and we worked hard for him. It was the best time of my life. A dangerous night. One night, during a terrible storm, John and the squire needed to cross a wooden bridge. I refused to move because I sensed danger. John urged me forward, but I stood still. I knew the bridge was broken. My instinct saved their lives that night. They were very grateful. A sad goodbye. Our happy life at Birtwick Park had to end. The squire's wife became very ill, and they had to move to a warmer country. They sold all the horses. It was a sad day. John Manley brushed my coat for the last time with tears in his eyes. "Goodbye, my friend," he whispered. The painful rain. My new home was very different. My new owner's wife demanded that we wear the painful bearing reins to keep our heads high. It was fashionable. Ginger and I had to wear them for hours. The rein was tight and hurt my neck and back. I hated it. A hard fall. One day, the rein was so tight I could barely breathe. I struggled, and then I fell. My knees were badly injured. Because I was no longer perfect, my owner sold me. This was the start of a much harder life. I was sold again and again, each time to a worse owner. A job horse. I became a job horse, rented out to people who did not know how to ride. Many were careless or cruel. They pulled the reins too hard and whipped me without reason. My mouth became sore, and my spirit grew low. I missed the kindness of Birtwick Park more than ever. London cab horse. Finally, I was sold to a man in London to be a cab horse. London was a huge, noisy and crowded city. I had to pull a heavy cab through busy streets all day long. The work was very hard, and the pavement was slippery. It was a difficult and tiring life. A kind driver. My new driver was a man named Cheri Barker. He was a good, kind man who treated his horses with respect. He never used a whip harshly and always made sure I had food and clean water. He called me Jack. For the first time in a long while, I felt safe. The Barker family. Cheri's family was as kind as he was. His wife, Polly, and his children often came to the stables to see me. His daughter, Dolly, would bring me pieces of apple or a fresh carrot. They were a happy, loving family, and I felt like I was a part of it. A sad sight. I worked for Cheri for several happy years. One day, I saw a sad sight. A cart passed by, pulled by a thin, weak-looking chestnut horse. It was Ginger. She looked old and tired, and her spirit was gone. It broke my heart to see my old friend in such a state. Hard times again. My good life with Cheri also came to an end. He became very sick one winter and could no longer work as a cab driver. The family had to move away from London, and I was sold once more. I was sad to leave them, but I knew they had no choice. The hardest work. My next master was a grain dealer. The work was the hardest I had ever known. I had to pull very heavy loads of flour and grain up steep hills. The owner did not give me enough food, and I grew weak and thin. I was often whipped to make me go faster. At the horse fair. I became so weak that I could no longer do the work. The owner decided to sell me at a horse fair. I was in terrible condition. My coat was dull, my bones showed through my skin, and my knees were still scarred. I thought my life was over. I had lost all hope. A glimmer of hope. A kind farmer saw me at the fair. He looked at my scarred knees and my sad eyes. He felt sorry for me. "This horse has seen better days," he said to his grandson. He decided to buy me, even though I was weak and old. He wanted to give me a chance. A new home. The farmer took me to his home in the countryside. It was a peaceful place, with green fields and a comfortable stable. He and his grandson, Willie, cared for me. They gave me good food, warm mash, and a soft bed of straw. Slowly I began to get my strength back. A familiar voice. One day, a young man came to groom me. He was gentle and thorough. He looked closely at the white star on my forehead. "It can't be," he whispered. "Is it Black Beauty?" It was the name John Manley had called me at Birtwick Park. The young man was Joe Green. A joyful reunion. Joe Green, the boy from Birtwick Park, had never forgotten me. He ran to tell the ladies of the house. They were Squire Gordon's nieces. They came to see me and were overjoyed to find the horse they had loved as children. I was finally home. Forever home. I was never sold again. I spent the rest of my life in that beautiful meadow. Joe Green cared for me with love and skill. I was loved and respected. I had seen the best and worst of people, but my story ended with kindness. I had finally found my forever home. A final thought. My name is Black Beauty. My story shows that animals deserve kindness and respect. A horse is not a machine. We feel pain and fear, but we also feel love and happiness. Remember to be compassionate to all living creatures. They depend on your goodness. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more fun English lessons.